Beautiful and amazing people. Do you know you could make your own 5x5 glueless wig all by yourself? Or have you ever been wondering why that your wig isn't looking or fitting in so perfectly? And yes, in today's video I'll be teaching you on how to make that perfect fit 5x5 wig all by yourself and making it look so realistic where you don't have to need a glue. And if this sounds like something you're interested in, please watch this video to the end. And for this tutorial, I'm making use of my head circumference, yet here back nape, front back, and yet here measurement. And these are the measurements I'll be using. And I made use of this spandex dome cap. Looking at the canva head, it has two faces. This side is looking like it's protruding and this side is flat. This flat side is your front and this protruding part is your back. And from the down, I'll be going in by 8 inches up and I'll pin down that 8 inches. And this canva head is 22 inches for the circumference. Okay, let's check this out. So when I go it round, when I measure round on that place I've pinned, that is 22 inch. I'll go ahead and place my dome cap on the canva edge from that point which I marked out the 8 inches. And my head circumference is 22. From my front to my nape is about 13 to 13 and a half. So this is 14. I'll go ahead and adjust it till I get my front to back nape, which is 13. And here I have 13. I'll pin it down. And for this other side I have 12. I'll go ahead and measure out 12 and I would, yes, it is fine. So I went ahead to fold all the excesses and this is what it looks like after I'm done sewing. And I'll pick it out, and when you are done sewing the excesses, you have this sleeve out behind, so you go ahead to trim it out. Use your scissors to trim out that part which is left behind after folding all the excesses. So I'm done trimming that excesses out, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's well detailed and neat. I'll be using this 5x5 closure, and this is a widow peak closure, and I'll be dropping in the description box the link on how I ventilated this closure. And from this closure I'll be coming out by 3/4 to 1 inch, and then for this second tutorial I made use of 3/4 inch. I pinned down the front and I also went ahead to pin the back. And I'm trying to, you make sure you try to lay your closure flat. Make sure there are no bumps when you're trying to lay your closure. Make sure it is flat. As you can see, I'm trying to lay it flat. As you can see, this side, you can see it's flat. So I tried to adjust it at that point because I had a little bit of bumps. I adjusted it and placed my pin to secure the front part. And I'll also be doing it for the other side. I'll make sure the other side is flat just as the other side, and also the back is also flat. Please make sure to lay your closure flat, as this helps to give you that perfect look when you put it on, that perfect fit. And yes, this is what it looks like after I'm done laying down the closure and pinning it. I'll be going ahead to sewing this down. So I'm trying to pack it so I can sew it down. So I'll go ahead and make use of my needle and thread and sew it down. I'll be making use of this curved needles to sew it down, and I've gone off camera to do that. If it forms an M shape in front, don't worry about that. You've done the right thing. If it forms an M shape, just like your frontal, you know, when you lay your frontal you get an M shape. If your closure forms that M shape also, don't worry, you've done the right thing. So I'll be taking this out so I can cut the net on that closure part. Please, while you're doing this, please gently cut this out so you don't tend to rip your lace by cutting it while you're trying to cut this part off. Please do it gently and make sure you lift it up so you don't cut it together with the lace. And here's what it looks like after I'm done. So I've gone ahead to place down the closure. So I want to draft the guidelines, so I'll go ahead and pin my tape rule to that point and down to the other side. And from this down, marking out 1/2 inch. From that 1/2 inch now, I'll then start marking out 1 inch all through till I get to the closure point. So I'll do this, I'll keep marking out 1 inch interval only at the tip I marked out ½ inch, and this ½ inch is to cover it in case breeze blows, so it doesn't tend to expose it. So I go ahead and take out my tape rule. I connect the lines, and so I can achieve my guidelines on how I'll be sewing down the hair. So I'll make sure I connect all these points, draw the guidelines. Just watch the way I'm drawing my guidelines. This is the way to draw your guidelines for a 5x5 closure, as this helps to give, when you draw a guideline, this helps to give your wig that perfect look. It doesn't have to look all so bumpy, and it's looking so nice, and it's going to be well layered. So I went ahead to join these lines, and also I'll be doing the same thing on the other side. So I went off camera to finish the guidelines, and I'm working with this hair. This is Tomona, and it is 28 inches long, and it came in 4 bundles with a closure. Well, the closure, I don't like the closure, it was like a machine closure. So I'll go ahead and place this hair around the closure which I've sewn down. For me, I like first of all, I like placing the hair around the closure, so it could help to cover that sewing parts, and this helps to cover that sewing parts when you wear your wig. It's not quite obvious. So I'll go ahead and cut these excesses left. So yes, this is what I went ahead to use my pin to secure it, as this helps to help me wig it well, and I don't have to struggle with arranging the hair. So I just pin it down and start sewing. So as you can see, you first of all have to tie it. Please tie it well to secure that end. If you don't, it's going to start losing. So you go ahead and knot. You keep sewing while you are sealing it. You sew and you knot. You use your needle, your curved needle, and pass it through the hair and the wig cap, and you secure it by tying it, that is knotting it. For me, I knot mine twice to help it secure, and make sure you secure it well. You knot it like you drag the thread to secure it well. On off camera to sewing it down, and this is the result of what it looks like after I'm done sewing it. This is it. As you can see, it's neatly sewn down to the wig cap. So we're going ahead to sew down the back part, and I'll be sewing my hair following these guidelines I've drawn. So I used my T-pins to secure it, and I first of all like placing the hair on following the guideline and securing it with a T-pin or with a pin, as this will help easy sewing. You don't have to struggle and start placing it while you're sewing. So after I'm done pinning it, so now I'm done, I'll go ahead and sew. And for this back pattern where you have the band, please don't pass your needle through the wig cap and the band, because for me, when you pass it through the band, it doesn't give the wig cap its elasticity, because you've actually sewn down the band. So I just pass it through the wig cap and not the wig cap and the band. So I'll use my needle and thread and secure it. As you can see, just watch what I'm doing. I'm passing it through the wig cap and also through the hair, and tying it, making sure I am tying it or securing the knots well. So I went off camera to do that, to just not to make this video long. And at this point, I was making use of 2 hair. I was doing a double weft so as to increase the density at the front, so it's not too scanty at the front and you have to see the recap. So I went ahead to use 2 layers of the hair, as you can see. So I did the same thing. I went ahead to use the T-pin to secure it round, following the guidelines. So you just place your hair on the guidelines and sew it down. Just follow these guidelines. And what is important also is your head measurement. If you want to achieve a glueless wig where you don't have to use a glue, you need your circumference, your nape, your nape to nape. You need your front to head measurement, as that is very important. Not all cap size fits all. My head, from my front to my back nape, is different from yours. So please, it's very important when you want to make a custom wig, you have your front to back measurement, as this helps you to give you that perfect fit where it is well laid on your hair. And another important tip is, please make sure your closure is well laid and it is flat while you are making your wig. Also, make sure when you're knotting or you're trying to sew down your hair to your wig cap, please make sure to secure the knots well, because as time goes on, when you start to brush, the force of trying to brush might loosen it if your knots are not well secured. And make sure to follow your guidelines, as guidelines are very important when wigging, as this helps to give it that neat and finishing and good finishing. All these tips are very important when it comes to making a glueless wig. Please make sure you have all these tips. You could make your own wig by yourself. Yes, DIY, do it yourself. It's quite easy. All you just need is practice. So I'll continue doing this, and I'll also be going off camera to finish the rest. Going off camera, this is what it looks like at this point. You can see it is well laid, it is straight, there is no folding, there is no bumps. Yes, so this is the final result. After I am done weighing, I went ahead to comb it, and you can see this is beautiful, guys. And here is the front. Just look at this closure. If you want to know how I made this closure, go check my description box. I'll be dropping the link on how I made this realistic closure. You can see the pattern, so neat and realistic. And this is the final look after making use of my hot comb and my serum. And here is the final look of the widow pick. Like, oops, this is what it looks like on me. This is realistic. I hope after watching this video now, guys, you can also make your own wig and following these tips and this guideline. And let me know what you feel like in the comment box below. You're the realest, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Stay tuned, guys. Love you.